We are going to be using some retiring stamps. We've got the Perennial Birthday. We're going to be using the Sentiment. We've got the Lily Pad Lake. We're going to be using a few of the items here. And then we're going to be using this Crackle Paint background stamp. Okay. Put those to the side. Get out my pieces of cardstock here. My little instruction sheet. Sometimes I can't just rattle all these things off the top of my head, you know. Okay. So, all right, this is going to be a card for the guys. You could make it a Father's Day card if you want. I'm going to make it a happy birthday card using the sentiment out of this. So what I've got here is I've got a piece of Night of Navy, and this measures 4 1/4 by 8 3/8. Okay. And we're going to slide this into the trimmer and we're going to score it. I'm going to have to open up my trimmer. So hold please while I open up the trimmer. There we go. So we're going to start out by scoring it at 4 1/2. Make sure my cutting blade is not in the way. And then we're going to go to 5 1/2. And then we're going to go to 7. And then 8. So we're going to have like a 3/8 inch little lip here at the end. That's where we're going to end up putting our adhesive. Okay. Then I also have a piece of, what is this? Seaside Spray. And this measures 3 by 4 7/8. And I'm going to score it a little bit strange just because it's easier for me. But I'm going to score it at 3/8 of an inch. And if you have a trimmer that has measurements on this side, it's very simple to do this. Okay. And then I'm going to slide this over to 3 1/2. But if you don't have something like this and you have a scoring board, you can score it at 3/8 and 1 3/8. Okay. Depending on how you have your stuff set up. So we've got that. And so I need my Crackle background stamp. There we go. I've got some Balmy Blue because I didn't want it to be like super dark. Okay, so I need to fold this on the score lines before I do this so I know what I'm doing, where I'm going to put the ink. Okay, there's that score line there. And then this little flappy dude here. Okay, because we're going to fold this up and end up making a little contraption that looks similar to this. So I do want to stamp the front of these. So I'm going to have these 3 panels. Wait a second here. Yeah. So I'm going to color these 3 with ink, but I need a piece to stick inside so I don't get the whole thing. So, okay. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to take this ink pen. I'm just leaving my stamp in my case. A lot of people will pull it out and use a gigantic block. I don't really think you need to do that. I mean, a gigantic block is kind of spendy, and personally, I'd rather have stamps than a gigantic block. So this is how I ink it up. I just press my pad onto it. And I only want, like I said, this front part here done. So I've got that piece of paper in there so I don't get any on here as well, for the moment anyway. And I'm just going to lay that on there, and then I'm just going to press it down into the ink. Okay. So there we have our Crackle background like that. And then we're going to do the same thing up here. So we're going to ink it up again. Okay. And then we're going to take, so we just did this little part here. We're just going to open that up and we're going to do up here. We don't have to go all the way down because this is going to cover up a lot of it. So we only need about, half of it or so. So we'll just stick that on there. I'm going to cover it with a piece of paper so that I can press the ink onto my cardstock. Okay. And there we have it. So yay. All right. And then you can swipe that off with your chamois, which, oh my gosh, you guys, check this out. I have a brand new chamois. I finally had to retire my chamois. It was, as you probably remember, very disgusting, very black. And it started to actually, I've been using it for probably a year now because it came out in our catalog last year and I use it every day. And so it got to the point where it was kind of starting to fall apart on me and I was getting little tiny bits of dark stained material on my stamps. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to treat myself to a new chamois. And now look. Now it's not brand new anymore. but a chamois is meant to be used, so that's what we're going to have to do. Okay, so we're done with the crackle paint. Ooh, I can actually clean this off too with my chamois. Because I got the edge of my ink pad a little bit gunky due to my background stamp. There. Okay, throw the chamois back in the box. It's the same box, just a new chamois, and it's actually so pretty. I kind of really like it. Okay, now we're going to use a couple images from the Lily Pad Lake stamp set on this layer of white. And I also need a scrap. So where's my scrap of white? Hello, scraps. Here's a scrap. Okay, so I'm just using black. This is just Memento, whatever black you had would be fine. Oh, but you know, I can't see white on white. So I need something that I can see the end here. So I'm just going to stamp this at the bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp these little sailboats in black. Now this stamp set had a set of dies that goes with it. They have sold out, but you can totally fussy cut this. It's not a problem. Okay. So we need to clean off our stamps because we are done with them. Oh man, look at that. It is actually kind of sad, you know, that you have to muck up your chamois, but you have to because you have to use it because it's amazing. Okay. And then we have those two things. And we have our Stampin' Blends. So while my ink is getting a little more dry, I am going to fold this on the score lines that I just made. Okay. And I'm going to add, this is a layer. So this layer of Seaside Spray was 3 by 4 7/8. This layer of Night of Navy is 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. And so I'm just going to go ahead and add it to the front here. And then we'll add our white layer here shortly. Okay. There we go. I am going to ink up my little, there's a little sun stamp in here. So far we're using the little sun or moon, whatever time of day it is. The sailboats and this long piece here. So I have my little sun. And I'm just going to kind of stamp this over to the side like that. And like I said, my sentiment comes from Perennial Birthday. It's this happy birthday right here, which I thought was, you know, kind of manly. Definitely doesn't give me a female vibe, you know. It's not scrolly and cute and all that good stuff. So, what did I do with my black ink? I seriously, oh, here we go. Like, I know I just had this stuff. What the heck? Okay. And we're going to stamp happy birthday. Oh, I need that dark piece again. I just cannot seem to see. See, that just makes it so much better for me when I can see. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure if this is even straight on here. So I want to test it. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. So I'm going to stamp my happy birthday about like so. Okay. So for my little sun, since I did this in Mango Melody, I'm going to ink up my sponge dauber in Daffodil Delight. I'm going to stamp it off a couple of times. And then I'm just going to stamp it right in that circle, just to kind of give my sun just a little more excitement. And then we're going to do a little bit of coloring. So I'm going to color, and I've got 3 different blues here. So I've got my light Seaside Spray, my light Night of Navy, and my light Balmy Blue. And so I am just going to like take turns coloring in these little strips of stuff here for my water. And I thought, you know, I don't want my water to all be the same color. I just thought this might add a little bit of interest to the project if the water wasn't all the same color. Okay, and then we'll bring in the Seaside Spray here. Do some more. Get that. So you guys are aware, obviously, that our Stampin' Blends markers are not retiring. They are being reconfigured. So right now you can purchase darks and lights separately. In the new catalog, they will only be available in combo packs. Is this dark? No, this is light. So if you do, and some of them are sold out already, but if you do need like a replacement dark or a light or something, yeah, I recommend getting that because you will not be able to replace the single markers once the new catalog goes live. And there are some that are already sold out, like I said. So there we go. A little bit down here. All right, so there's our water. And then for the sailboats, I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I've got my light and dark smoky slate, and then my dark basic black, okay? And I'm just going to color in my sailboats here. So I'll use my light first. Kind of just, oh, that one I went out of the line. Good thing it doesn't matter because I already did this and cut them out, so. Okay, and then we'll use the dark gray. So we'll just have our light and dark boats here. A little bit right there. And then we'll bring in the black. And we'll finish them off. So we'll do the bottom of the boat here. And then we'll do these little lines in the sail. And then the bottom of this boat here. Okay. Then, by the magic of TV, when you cut them out, this is what you get. A single and doubles. Okay. So I'm going to bring in some mini dimensionals, and we're going to add these to the card, or to the layer, not really the card, I guess. Whoops, I just dropped. Wonder if you can refill the blends. You know what, Marilyn? I don't think so. We don't have any ink that would allow you to do that. So it's not like our ink pad, you know, where we sell a refill to refill the ink pad. We don't sell refills for our blend, so I'm not sure how you would go about doing that. And then we're just going to drop this set down here. Okay. And then we'll add this to the front panel here. And this is kind of one of those fun fold cards. So, yeah, it's also one that will stand up on a desk. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. Oh, Mary Ellen, there's a lot of things that are selling out. Some of the single Stampin' Blends are selling out. So if you have Stampin' Blends and you're wanting to replace just your single colors, some you can, some you can't. Ooh, and I have some cards to show you with this set here in just a second. Ooh, wait, that's my card. Okay, so let me move those out of the way. Back to this. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to add this to the front. So I'm just going to add some glue only down here at the bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to lay this flat. And I am going to glue this to the center. Okay. There we go. Alrighty, and then I'm going to add some glue on this little tab right here. Okay. And I'm going to fold it down, and then I'm just going to press it onto the back there. Press that down. So then that will give you a nice, perfect little square hole, rectangular hole, I guess, in there. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in our Night of Navy, or not, it's not Night of Navy, it's denim, but it's, to me, it's Night of Navy. So anyway, denim ribbon, and we're going to just wrap it around this top part here and tie it in a knot. Oh, someone just turned on the water outside. Maybe they're going to water the flowers. I don't know. Oh, come on. Normally, I do not struggle with tying knots or bows. And of course, unless I'm live on camera, then I cannot tie it to save my life. All right, let's see. Can we make it tight? Yes, we can. Okay, and then I'm just going to slide my knot over so it's in the middle. Bring in my scissors that I used to cut my ribbon. And we will get that cut off there, and we'll get this cut off here. Have you guys ever seen this kind of a card before, where it's kind of a stand-up card? So then the last thing we need to do is just add this. Okay, and again, you're going to fold it back. And since this card folds flat for mailing, you just press it down. So you don't have to try to guess where it's going to go. Just the natural folds of the whole thing will let you put it where it's supposed to go. Okay. So there we go. And it stands up on a desk just like that. And then I forgot one piece. If you want to decorate the back, you can. Here's what I've made today in practice session. So this layer here is, I think it's 4 by 4 1/4. Is it 4? It's a little bit more than 4. I think 4 would work. 4 by 4 1/4. And so then I just stamped the sailboats down there in the corner, and then you could write your message back here, you know, whatever you wanted to say. And then when the person received it, then they just get stand it up on their table or their desk or their mantle or wherever they like to sing things. And it's a fun card to look at. Now you can see the one I made today, I put the happy birthday straight across from the sun, but I didn't really like that as well as I like it over here. It just seemed like that there's too much empty space there. So, but you can do whatever you want when you make it. It's going to be your card. So there we go. Okay, so I'm glad you guys liked that. So here are some other cards using this particular stamp set. Here's one that's got like a little sun in the back. There's those squiggly lines, the sailboats. This one, if you had the die set, you could cut out all these things. But if you don't, then, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Not available anymore. But here's one where the swan, I guess it is, was stamped, and then it was colored in with our dark Stampin' Blend marker, so it actually looks like a silhouette rather than the swan that is here. Or maybe that's a crane. I don't think it's a swan. I think it's a crane. And then this one here, using our retiring grapefruit grove that is leaving us and is making me super sad. So there you go. If you like these stamp sets, get to the store and get them in your order. They're all retiring. So let me clean up my mess. I'll let you look at the stamps and, of course, the fun card.